bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang gang. You know we don't play games. Whoa. Hop up on that wagon. Oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry. We just stuck up in our ways. West Coast go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang gang gang, we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up.
I'm like I'm Wheezy, baby. Yeah, that's Papa Swole.
Drip so sick, I'm queasy.
What's up, fam? Welcome to the Slamcast. Come on, I know you're there. I know you're watching. I know you're here. What up? What up, Ish? What's up, Johnny John? Hello, Jan. Oh.
Walk to the line, good versus evil. God in his prime, always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine. Wifey is fine, I'm doing fine. Glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. Oh. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with the gang gang gang, West Coast with the gang gang gang, Lower with the gang gang gang. You know we don't play gang gang. This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was wondering why Facebook wasn't working, but I forgot that Instagram was kind of getting glitchy. All right, we're on YouTube today. See? Isn't that the beauty? That's the beautiful thing, fam. That's the beautiful thing. Doesn't matter. We do it anyway. I got a surprise for all of you today. A little surprise. Hey. What's up, Kim, Holly, Parker, Steve, John? Hello.
Just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry. We just stuck up in our ways. West Coast go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang gang, we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up. I'm like I'm Wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy. Drip so sick, I'm queasy.
Whoa. Yeah. Gang, gang, gang. Let's do it. Whoa, ho, Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1153 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's up, beaches? How am I looking? Today? Look at me, fancy Swolio. Got upgrading the gear, nice and crisp. Instagram, I'm live, but I don't think it's working. Facebook apparently and Instagram are down today, and they have been. And I noticed that earlier when it sucks because I'm trying to like hook people up with like some awesome fucking membership specials and stuff. And yeah, Facebook doesn't want to run ads, and Google or Instagram, and they're all connected. So it's unfortunate that those two are paired up, because Instagram I'm live, but no one's watching. So I guess I'm just going to kill that. Sorry, Instagram. YouTube, Twitch, and I'm assuming Periscope will work if anyone's watching over there. But YouTube is the game. YouTube's the game. Yeah, well, I knew that Facebook and Instagram were down, but I decided just to hit the live button on Instagram just to see what happened, and it went live. I'm like, oh, cool, it'll work. But then no one signed in, so I'm like, oh, they're not getting their alert. So it tricked me. How's the so this is kind of like the latest thing that I'm trying to do. What I've always tried to do with equipment is just kind of slowly, bump up the quality. So hopefully you're seeing me in full H dizzle. And I know a lot of you have been saying that you watch me on TV and stuff. So the webcam was getting really fucking annoying. So I'm glad that you're here. And I should be coming through large and in charge. I should be coming through really fucking crisp. I'm looking good on my screen. And YouTube is really the place to watch. If you're going to watch the stream, I really do believe that YouTube is the best place to watch it for the live. So if you're not following on YouTube, it's a great backup if you catch the live stream on Instagram or Facebook. Even if you like mobile, make sure you subscribe. It's a second channel, Daily Swole Podcast. Second channel, Daily Swole Podcast. And yeah, you're getting that HD knowledge cock. So right here, look at me. Look at this NC. No, it's not NC. It's KC. Why is knowledge with a K? Does anyone understand that? Why is knowledge with a K? Why do we need that K in there? I don't need some K in I need the K for the cock. Knowledge cock. KK. Knowledge cock. Beginning and end. KC. The beard and bun on fleek. Thank you. The beard isn't quite fleeked as it normally is. I didn't groom it today. So I have like this part going off to the right. This part's really puffy. There's a big space here because of where my chin was on my pillow. It's all wavy on the sides, but it's all good. I didn't groom it. Decided not to. I got like a couple different colors here. I got some dark. I got some, this is like where the sun hits it, I guess. I don't turn my head enough when I walk outside. It's kind of overcast, cloudy. What's up? Yeah, what's going on? I love how everyone's just slowly tuning in. So we'll give this, I'm live and I'm streaming on Facebook. I know it's probably coming in black, but I'll give people a little bit more of a chance to come in. We'll just we'll kind of chill for a little bit while everyone's kind of getting their feet wet. How are we doing today in terms of training? Did everyone get their training on? I wasn't going to work out today. I didn't get to work out yesterday because I had major repairs done with the air conditioning. So now I can stream and I don't have to sweat my ass off. So now when I make videos for YouTube, I don't have to be as fucking sweaty. This is some huge stuff. This is a big fucking deal. This is a big fucking deal in terms of the swole hole. You know that I've been sweating my balls off. Sweating fucking balls every day. It's the summer in Florida and I had major air conditioning problems, but now fixed. It is brisk. It's a nice 75, 76 degrees in here. I had it down. It was 66 or 65, 66 degrees in here because I had the portable still running. I'm like, I want an ice box. I want to meat locker this fucking thing, but that's not something I want to maintain. It's going to be too hard. I'm going to be spending, it'll be like a second mortgage just to fucking pay for the air. Anyway, I like to be cold. And I'm sure a lot of you do too. Anyway, when you're down here in Florida and you step outside and your balls just sweat instantaneously, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not the way to live, especially with like equipment and podcasting and shit like that. Anyway, how many of you caught the nuts on chin today? If you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure you did on the main channel, Swolenormous. How many of you caught today's NOC? You like that shit? You like that? You liking that knock? I know you do. I know you fucking do, you sons of bitches. Don't pretend like you don't like that NOC. I know you do. I know you liked it. You caught that shit? How'd you like it? We haven't gone that direction in a while. I haven't talked about Brittany Dawn in a minute because there was nothing to talk about. I was burned out. I was tired of it. I said what I had to say. She responded. I responded with a clapback video. And it was just, kind of covered it. It was done. Over it. moved on. It was fine. What I don't appreciate is people like her that pretend or that act like everyone else is stupid. The way she treated everyone, the way she treated her audience, and the only reason I knew about this was because I started making videos and I was in some of the private groups, and a lot of women and people that were getting fucked over left and right were messaging me about it and sending me tons of details. That's why I had all the content for the videos, because people were sending me tons of stuff. So I didn't know all the behind the scenes. I never bought a program and diet plan. I never did that myself, obviously. Why would I? And just the way it was handled, it was almost like resentful, because how dare someone that has that much of a following? It's like the kind of following that people aspire to have. I've been doing content for a few years, and it's just like, that's a goal. And it's not all about the numbers of subscribers. It's not all about the views, but that is one of the metrics that helps show you that, hey, your message is getting out. You're doing stuff properly. You're distributing your videos. You're making content people want to see. And that's a good thing. And that's like something that you aspire. Oh, well, if numbers are going up, that means you're doing something right. And when someone has hundreds and thousands of subscribers, I'm like, why the fuck do people follow this person? And to disrespect the audience, that's where it really fucking got to me. How dare someone disrespect that many people? How dare someone just spit and shit where they fucking eat and not even take care of it, not even actually provide restitution, and not even handle it properly? Like I mentioned in all my videos, it's one thing if you fucked up, okay, well, make it right. You don't have the money to make it right? Well, do other things to make it right. But it wasn't forthcoming. It wasn't transparent enough. And then just took like a couple weeks off and then came back, has sponsors, does the same videos, the same thumbnails, the same fucking shit. The same fucking shit. The same fucking shit. Yo, this was only like 2 or 3 months ago. And it went for like a month or two, and then she took like a couple weeks off, and now it's the same fucking thing, and no one's talking about it. And again, I'm going to finish up with this. We'll move on to some other content. But like I said, in all those fucking videos, people are going to stop talking about it. It's going to go back. The news cycle is going to roll over, and no one's going to be speaking about this anymore. It's going to be done. No one's going to talk about it. And that is the problem in itself. People are not talking about it. People aren't aware. And new subscribers and new people are coming in, and then they don't know any better. They don't know any better. They just see, hey, this girl does a lifestyle channel. This girl has a vlog and all this bullshit. And she deleted the apology video. If you fucked up and you really want to apologize, first off, you do it right the first time to begin with, but you leave it up. Don't deny and don't try to cover up the past. So that video deleting history, totally true. Don't delete that fucking shit. She got away with it, Nicholas. Exactly. That's exactly my point. Because people let her get away with it. And I'm not saying people don't have a path to redemption, because I told her what she should do. I gave a great example about making YouTube videos, talking to people on the phone and paying them back with the ad revenue. Okay. That would get people, even if they hated her, to watch her videos, so people will get their money back. She would actually get more views. You understand? She would get more views if she said, and she was transparent with her analytics, and she said, I'm going to personally do a phone call with each person that got screwed over. I don't have the money, but I want to apologize in person or like on the phone, and, try to help you and do like little coaching calls, 10, 15 fucking minutes a person. I know it's going to take a while, but all that ad revenue could be to pay people back. And then she would get more views, and it would help her, and people would respect her for it, but she didn't want to do that. That's the hard work. That's the patience. That's the effort. Not gonna happen. Never thought it would, but that's what I would have done. But I wouldn't have fucked up like that in the first place. You be transparent from the get. Anyway, people make mistakes. People deserve to redeem themselves, but they deserve to redeem themselves if they fucking redeem themselves, if they actually attempt. When you don't attempt, you don't deserve shit. You don't deserve fucking sympathy. You don't deserve, you can come back whenever you want. No, you don't deserve that. You showed absolutely no remorse, and you didn't fucking handle it. If you tried, if she was still doing that, I would have made a video if she started doing that, apologizing, calling people, using the ad spend. I would have made a video commending it. I told her, you would earn my respect back. I never had respect for her in the first place. I didn't know who she was. I made a video about the pink drink like 8 months before that, but I didn't really know who she was. But yeah, I would have made a positive video. I would have said, that's fucking great. But none. Just stepped out of the limelight for a couple weeks, back at it. Nothing changed. And it doesn't even matter. I'll end with this. It doesn't even matter if she was doing and working her ass off behind the scenes. If you were working your ass off to fix it behind the scenes, wouldn't you have documented it? Wouldn't you have done some stories? Wouldn't you have actually been transparent about that to show everyone that you're making it better? Wouldn't you have done that, like video, done vlogs about it over and over again to show how you're fixing it? She didn't do jack shit. She maybe brought a couple people in that just butchered it more for her. She didn't handle it, so there's nothing to record. There's nothing to document. There's nothing to share. She just fucked up and then left. She fucked up and just fucking doing it again. She's fucking doing it again. Again. No change. None. Nothing. No change whatsoever. The path to forgiveness starts with a punch to the throat. Crystal, holy shit, what side of the bed did you wake up on, girl? God damn, a punch to the throat. All right, I forgive you. Right to the fucking throat. Well, I saw that she had, one of the things that pissed me off about that video is she was doing the sponsors thing, the same thing again. Apparently someone said, I don't know the details, I don't know if this is true or not, but I know she was sponsored in that video by Scentbird, and someone said that this company had a contract with her since before the scandal, so they're just, oh yeah, we know, I don't know. They're probably some excuse to keep on selling because she still has a lot of subscribers. So even if she has a bad name and she's promoting a product, people are still going to buy the product. There's still people that like her stuff, surprisingly enough. People that didn't get screwed. You don't take someone's money, they're not going to be as upset. That's how it works. They're not going to be that pissed if you didn't take their money. Why would they be pissed? Oh my God, she did that. I can't believe she did that to other people. But you don't give a fuck because she didn't take your fucking money. Kick to the taint. Do women have a taint? Do women have a taint? I don't know. I've heard through the grapevine that it's not called a taint. Doesn't it just like, they're almost, it's barely. I don't know if that counts. I like to think so. The people still giving her money are more stupid than Britney. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? I don't know. People just want it to go away. Well, there's a few different types of people. If you took, let's say, $100 from someone and you didn't return, you didn't get what you paid for, some people would be furious and that make a massive difference. And some people might be like, I don't feel like it's $100. I fucking hate that bitch, but it's $100. What am I going to, it's not worth it. For some people, it is worth it. For some people, you steal $5 and they'll want your head on a spike. But some people, it was like hundreds of dollars. It was like several $100s. And again, it depends on how your finances are and what you take personally and if you want to let it roll off. It goes a couple different ways because I don't want people to be endlessly hunting her down because then it just drags you down too and it just wastes your time from moving on. However, it goes both ways because if you don't pursue it, then she gets away with it. Yeah, we're talking about Britney. We kind of just ramping into it, but everyone was asking. Yes, women have tiny, cute taints, totally kickable. I guess if you use like high-heeled shoes, I think the female taint kick is actually designed for other females to kick them in the taint. You have a high-heeled, like a pointy toe, you can kind of get that. It's a very accurate shot. It's almost like a sniper taint shot. It's a little bit more complex, but it's still probably it's worth the payout if you actually land one. John, it takes more work erasing all that and covering shit up as opposed to stepping up. She's so lame, she even failed laziness. Yeah, it's more work to lie. And we'll bring this back to like fitness content. The reason why I speak my own truth in terms of what I know, what I don't know, and I stay within my lanes and I try to help you through my experience and my education, but with what I have a real good grasp on, because there's so much content, there's so much stuff out there. You need to specialize. You need to specialize with what you're good at. You can't know everything. You can't help with everything. But if you lie and you pretend, it's more work talking around shit and talking about shit you don't know about, and it exposes you more than if you talk about what you're good at. You talk about what your focus is. You talk about where your skills and where your actual sweet spot is. And lies in general, fibbing, bullshitting, it takes more energy because you have to keep that facade up. If you're just natural and you do shit your way and you talk about what you know and you handle your stuff and you're not putting up smoke and mirrors and trying to distract people, You know, it's more work to do that. It's just easy just to be forthright. Tell people the way it is. Just fucking be direct. Be direct. Yeah, they shift the blame. Everyone shifts the blame, trying to push it off as if people are going to forget. People forget things, but it's more like they forget things because there's so many new things coming out. And if you're one of those people that just gets absorbed with every post and everything on social, everything, it's going to seem like you just get lost. People don't want to take responsibility with fitness. They don't want to take responsibility for mistakes. They feel like, oh, you can blame it on other things. You could blame it on being busy. You got busy for a reason. You didn't handle it and take care of people. If you take care of the people that are your audience, that are your customers, take care of people. I try to take care of you. I try to answer your questions. I try to get to all of your messages. You just have to be a decent fucking person. You can still talk about kicking people in the taint. I'm still going to talk about kicking people in the taint. Still talk about it. I'll kick someone in the fucking taint. However, I'll also tell you I did it. I'll let you know it's coming too. You can't stop it. I'm too quick. I'm too quick. I'm too damn fast. But I'll let you know it's coming, and I won't apologize. I'll just be honest. I'm going to kick you in the taint. What? Bam. Told you. Biatch. Oh. Anyway, that was a good video. If you didn't check it out today, it's on the YouTube channel, Swole Schnormus. And thank you for everyone that's tuning in on YouTube. I know Facebook took a shit today. Instagram is down. Life has stopped today. Life has stopped. Life hath stoppeth. And I'm going to be I posted earlier on Twitter and post on YouTube. I'm telling you, you see how when everyone joined in, now a lot of you are coming in now, so we'll talk about the ultimate Humps hump day. How many of you are training legs today or did train legs today? If you have glute questions, leg questions, you could drop them in the comments down below. We'll talk about how to really activate your glute muscles, why that's important in a moment. And one of you mentioned this before. You're like, thank you, Papa, for being everywhere. That's one of the reasons why the multi-stream is so important, because we can't depend on Facebook for having their shit together. If Facebook goes down, it's Instagram. They're linked together, and they're more linked together every day. So it's unfortunate because tons of my subscribers are on there, but a lot of you are the same people. You follow me in a couple different places. So it's just another reason for you to, it doesn't seem like YouTube is ever really down. YouTube seems extremely consistent. I think that's like one of those, yeah, is YouTube ever down? That's actually a good question. I don't recall YouTube ever being like YouTube not working. I don't know. Drop in the comments if I'm wrong with that. But anyway, YouTube is very stable, but it's great to be here. It's great to not have to just skip a beat. So if you see me go live or you see an alert and it's just choppy, like you just did, just jump to another platform and just check it out. Yeah, everyone has access to YouTube. Yeah, and I agree. Del Matthews, no, it's never down. I've never had any issues with YouTube not providing the stream. YouTube has been hacked and shut down, really? Maybe that's a long time ago. I haven't heard that recently, but I'd believe it. I mean, nothing's perfect. But is it just me, or has Facebook and Instagram had a lot of problems recently? It seems like in 2019, it's been down like 3 or 4 times, which isn't much considering. But I think there's more to it than that. I don't think it's just down because of an error. I honestly think that these are little periods of them. I don't know. I feel like they're taking it down in order to do some major updates because they're combining Facebook and Instagram and Messenger more. I feel like they need to like take things offline to like rebuild it in a different way. I don't know. I feel like there's something with like an update that they're doing that they have to take it down. They just pretend like it's, something. That seems stupid though. That seems silly. Like with today's technology, I feel like they wouldn't have to do that. YouTube was down once in the last 12 months. Yeah, I didn't notice that day, whatever that day was. But it won't go down until they disagree with your methods. Oh, well, I'm not talking about my content. I'm talking about the stream actually not working, because when Facebook and Instagram go down, no one can use the apps. The apps don't work properly. I'm just saying in terms of YouTube, I don't feel like there's ever been a time where I've tried to stream and I wasn't able, or upload a video. I mean, sometimes there's little quirks behind the scenes, but YouTube is always available for viewing shit. Yeah. Fuck, I need to stop commenting and roll out. No way, man. No way. Stay, chill. All right, let's see. Leg day. Busting my cherry with this today, loving it. What's up, thick vegan? Thick vegan. Well, maybe if you weren't a vegan, you wouldn't be so thick. I'm just kidding. Maybe you're thick because you're a vegan. I don't know. As long as you're busting your cherry, cherries are vegan, so that's cool. Just don't eat the pit though. Getting that leg pump right now, nice. Does it even count as training if you don't hit legs? It doesn't count as, if you're not training legs, period. No, it doesn't count as training. But if you're not hitting legs today, it's cool. It's just Wednesday. I'm not doing legs. When I go to the gym today, I'm not doing legs. I'm doing upper body. I might, it's going to be tough because tomorrow I'm probably going to miss a workout. No, unless I get up really early because I have to be down. I have a meeting in the late morning tomorrow, but tomorrow's 4th of July. So my gym is like open 8 to 1 or some bullshit. I fucking hate that. Every gym should be open 24 hours. Let people get a pump on when they want to get a pump on. Train legs today. This is perfect. Core and balance today. Legs at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So bring on the glute advice. Good Lord. God knows I need it. Okay. When it comes to leg training, when it comes to hump day, let's think about this. What do you do most often? What do most people do most often? And what am I doing right now? I'm sitting down. Most people sit down. Most people are sedentary more often than not. Sitting in chairs, sitting in the car, sitting at their desk, in chairs, but at home and at the office. Most people are not active. They're not physically active. Most people are sedentary or not even sedentary. You might work out 5 days a week or 6 days a week or do yoga and stuff every day, but the majority of your day you're sitting down. If you're undertrained and you're just getting into it, your glutes are really deactivated. If you're sitting down consistently during the day and during your week, your glutes are deactivated as well. When you go into leg training, the most important thing to understand is how the body is connected, how the body is interacting with itself. And a lot of this interaction happens at the hips because the hips are the center of the body. The hips are the base of the core. The hips also direct the thighs, the femur bones, and can direct where the knees go and where the ankles go. So if you have issues at the ankles or the knees, it can easily be coming from the hips. If you have issues in the lower back, the middle back, the neck, you can have issues like that coming from the hips. If you have an imbalance, if you have muscles that are too tight on one side of the joint, if you have a misangled joint, for example, an anterior pelvic tilt, if you have your hips kind of tilting forward because your hip flexors get very tight, you're sitting on your butt a lot, which deactivates the glute muscles. And because you're in a seated position, you're shortening and stiffening those muscles on the front of your hip. So that during all your actions, during your walking, during your swimming, during your lifting, you have tension on the front of that hip joint and it's pulling your hips forward. It's pulling the front of your hips down and forward. So what happens is you're directing, you're like aiming. If you have a rifle and you're going to take a shot, you're going to aim at a target. Now that target should be pointing straight up. So you have, great posture straight up, that center of gravity. But now you're angling the hips forward. And I want you to imagine this. Picture your hips as being a bucket of water. If you don't understand and you're listening, if you're watching, I was kind of doing this stuff with my hands. Imagine your hips being a bucket of water. If you were to stand up, so your bucket of water is your hips, and you're going to pour water out the front of the bucket, like right where your PP or your vajayjay is, if you pour water out the front of the bucket, that's an anterior tilt. And you'll notice when you tilt the water in the bucket forward, your lower back arches, which puts pressure on your lumbar spine, which causes your upper back to change to either round or to compensate, which causes your neck to be out of alignment. It's like the game Jenga. You pull one block out and all the other blocks have to adjust and change the angle in order to stay balanced so you don't topple over. What you want to accomplish and what you want to focus on in terms of your yoga, in terms of your corrective exercises, stand up again. Your hips are a bucket of water, and now pour water out the back part where your butt is. What you're going to do, and just do it. Just stand up and then pour water out the back. Even if you're sitting down, just pour water out the back. What do? What are the things that you do in order to pretend to pour water out the back of the bucket? You'll squeeze your glutes, you'll suck your stomach in, and you'll kind of like tuck your tail under. If you had a tail, you would tuck it under between your legs. That is called a posterior pelvic tilt. Now, a posterior pelvic tilt is a sign of glute activation. It's a sign of core activation and intrinsic core stabilizer activation, because you have these muscles inside that tighten, that add pressure around the lower back, that will push the vertebrae kind of in, create that interlumbar and thoracic, inter deep body pressure, whatever the fuck you want to call it, visceral pressure. I'm just getting tongue tied today, but you're adding pressure inside because those muscles inside are contracting, which add pressure around the lower back, which push the vertebrae and allow that flexion to take place, not so much extension. And that's really important. It's really important to have that. It's really important to have those core muscles activated. And those muscles aren't normally activated because you're sitting down. If you're sitting down in a chair, in a car, at a desk, your body has no need to stabilize. Why would your body need to stabilize? Think about this. Why would your body need to stabilize? It doesn't have to stabilize. Your body does not have to stabilize if you are sitting in a fucking chair. That's like the definition of not having to stabilize. Your body has no need to because you're not going anywhere. You're sitting down. You're comfortable. Your body doesn't have to stabilize. You're just fucking sitting down. There's nothing to stabilize. There's no need to stabilize. So your body doesn't keep these muscles activated. Why? If you don't use it, you lose it. If you're not using these muscles, you're not trying to activate these muscles, why would your body keep them around? Why? Why would your body keep these muscles tight, toned, and on point? It wouldn't, and it doesn't. They shut down. They lose neural connection with your brain. Your brain almost forgets they exist, kind of, if you kind of get the concept of that. It's not literal, but essentially you lose connection. You lose connection with your muscles, those stabilizers. Same thing with your glutes. So when you don't use a muscle, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you're not using your glutes, if you're not using your intrinsic core stabilizers, your body will not keep them active. Your body will not be keeping those things sharp. It's not going to maintain posture that you're not using. So we, as the individual, have to take action with those muscles. We have to turn them on. We have to activate them. Now, how do we do that? You can't just go and do squats. You can't just go and do lunges. And here's why. Your body moves as a system, no matter what you're doing when you're standing up. So if I stand up, if I sit down, I'm using a combination of muscles. I'm using my thighs, I'm using my quads, right? I'm using my hamstrings, I'm using my calves, I'm using my glutes a little bit. I'm using spinal rectors. Like, I'm not falling over. I'm not I'm not a sack of just jelly. My body has structure. My muscles are contracting and to keep me upright and erect. I'm erect everywhere. Oh, you didn't know that. I always have a raging hard on during the podcast. So in order to isolate, we can't do integrated movements because your body will lapse back to those patterns. Your body wants to lapse back. Your body wants to go and do what it's used to doing. It's a habit. Do you see how, like, your conscious habits and the habits you're aware of, it's the same thing with your body. Your body is going to default to the things that it's used to doing. It's going to default to that. It's used to doing X, Y, and Z. It's going to keep on doing X, Y, and Z unless you train it to do otherwise. So because your body is used to working and doing things without the glutes really activated, without the core stabilizers activated, if you just say, hey, I need to work my glutes, let me just go squat some more, you have poor posture. You don't have good alignment. Your body isn't activating the glutes. It's using the quads more. It's using the hamstrings more. And this is the reason why a lot of people have repeated and chronic lower back pain and lower back injuries and chronically pull their hamstring over and over again. They pull it, they rest, it heals. They pull it again because they don't solve the problem. They don't solve the problem. They just keep on doing the same shit over and over again. And if you don't have activated glutes, other muscles tend to take over. They tend to try to pick up where the other body parts are failing. So what we need to do is not do an integrated movement. We can't do lunges. We can't do squats because those exercises are integrated movements. They're integrated movements. Those muscles or those exercises use many, many muscles. And your body, with those muscles in that pattern for standing, for sitting, it's used to not using the glutes. So we have to activate those muscles. We have to activate the glutes directly. And this is done with stabilization exercises, hip bridges, the lateral tube walks that you see me doing, things like single leg squats, single leg balance exercises. These are great movements that you can do with zero equipment You do a nice time under tension, do nice long, slow eccentric contractions, slow and controlled concentric, nice isometric holds, and you isolate these muscles as best you can. Now, a single leg squat is going to be, there's going to be multiple muscles working. However, when you go into a single leg environment, what are you doing? You're activating the muscles on the back portion and the sides of the glutes, not just the gluteus maximus. You're also getting the gluteus medius on the sides. So it's very important to understand where those single leg exercises come into play. They allow for more hip stability and that frontal plane stability because you're getting all aspects of the glutes. And the glutes are very, very powerful. They're very important, and they help in the sagittal and the frontal and, of course, the transverse planes. But it's not just the back part. It's not just the bump. When we say, oh, work your glutes, I have a big butt. I'm not talking about the fat on your glutes. That you're not shredded to the bone on your butt. You have fat there. You have cottage cheese. You have a bump there. That's not just muscle. It's a lot of fat too. Okay. Plus, if you have a lordotic curve, if you're in anterior pelvic tilt mode and you're pushing your butt back and out, you're accentuating the way it looks, but you're not increasing. You're quite the opposite. You're not increasing the amount of glute activation. You're not increasing the muscle size. You're just pushing the bones back more. It's not making you, it's giving you this illusion of having a butt, but you don't really have glute activation. Yeah, I already answered that question. So unilateral work helps as well. Yeah, unilateral work, doing single leg stuff helps because you activate more of those intrinsic stabilizers in the hips. You get more of that frontal plane stability, not just like, let's say you're on your back and you're doing a hip bridge. That's great. You're not going to get gluteus medius activation unless you do a single leg bridge. But if you're just starting out, that's going to be too much for you. But you can put a band just above your knees at the bottom of your thighs that would kind of force you to do hip abduction while you're doing your hip bridge. But you want to make sure it's very slow and controlled and you're keeping good posture, stomach sucked in. You're trying to pour water out the back portion of your hip bucket, so to speak. So you want to suck and tuck, and that will help you activate those muscles. And it's a very slow and controlled process. You're doing slow repetitions. You're doing 10 to 15 reps at least. You're doing a few sets, but this is the type of thing that you want to do regularly to build that connection with your brain to your glutes. Is plank good for this too? Plank is one of, yes and yeah, plank is good if you do it properly. Most people don't do planks properly. You need to make sure you're not protracting. You need to make sure that your stomach is sucked in, your glutes are tight, your ankles you're not rocking forward, your neck isn't hanging. The issue with a plank in terms of focusing on that for glute activation is good for core, but there's a lot of a plank is very simple, but most people do it wrong. And it's a very integrated exercise if you think about it in the way that I just mentioned it. There are a lot of different moving parts. So you might have, your stomach sucked in, your glutes are tight, but you're dropping your shoulders and your head's hanging, or you're looking straight ahead or some bullshit. So you're actually teaching your body other bad habits. Anytime you do an exercise, form is number one. How you're doing the exercise, how you're executing the movement, that's everything. It's everything. Does push-pull sled activate the glutes? No. And when we talk about activating the glutes, it depends on what you mean by that. That's an integrated exercise. If you're pushing a sled, you're using everything in your body. It will work the glutes, but it depends on your form and it depends on how you're doing it. So activation is different. Like if I stand up, like right now, there's like 500 muscles that are activating because I'm not just like slouching over. I'm not like, and even in that sense, I'm still having a lot of muscles activate. So there's integrated actions and there's isolation actions. If you get into kinesiology and you start reading up these books and you start learning, you'll see in a lot of kinesiology books, it'll talk about isolated action and integrated action. And I'm just going to briefly explain what that means. If you have, let's say you have a skeleton and all you have is, let's say, one muscle that you're talking about. Let's say the pectoralis major is the only thing on the skeleton. When that muscle shortens, it's going to do this. It's going to rotate the arm internally. It's going to bring it towards the midline. It's going to do that. Cool. Yay. But that's in this vacuum made up space. If you only had a skeleton and you only had a pectoralis major, it would do that to the humerus. It would do that, blah, blah, blah. But in real life, you have what? Skin, bones, you have tons of blood and ligaments and tendons, and you have all the other muscles, all the deltoid muscle, all the rotator cuff and all the lats. So now that pectoralis major, when it moves, it's not all about the pectoralis major. It's about what's going on the back of the shoulder, what's going on the scapula, what's going on here. What about the clavicle? What about the neck? What about the biceps? What about the deltoid? What about the triceps? So if any of those muscles are tight in certain instances, it's going to affect the ability of the pectoralis major to act. So then people come to me and they'll be like, well, hey, I don't feel it so much in my chest. I don't feel it so much here. How come when I do this, it hurts back here or it pulls here? There's a reason why, because other muscles are all attached and they're all doing their own thing. So it's an integrative function. And if you're squeezing and your body's contracting a couple muscles at the same time, the pectoralis major is going to move a little bit differently when working synergistically alongside with other muscles. It's not working in a vacuum. So it's very easy to say, oh, the pectoralis major does horizontal adduction, it does internal rotation. It can also do, let's say, flexion of the shoulder when the arm is in extension, and when, it could do extension when the arm is overhead, and okay. But whenever you're doing any kind of movement, you're not only working the pectoralis major. You're not only working on that. You have to take into account other things, and that's where corrective exercise and that's where real problem solving comes into play. And even some of that stuff, when you get really fucking high end, you talk about trigger points and all these different things, even that goes above and beyond what I am normally used to. And I am really, what my experience is, because I'm very knowledgeable with kinesiology. I'm very knowledgeable with how the body moves and activation, but there's always more information. And sometimes I watch videos or someone will send me something. I'm like, man, that's a fucking really good technique. Or, oh yeah, it's really cool. Because there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff to know. And usually, even when I talk about it in this sense, that's usually much higher level than what 99.9% of people need to know. So that's why with my content, I try to direct it towards the most functional, the most important things to help the most people with. Because when you get super specific, people forget about the basics. When you get super high level, people forget about the basics. It doesn't even have to be like at the university PhD level. Like even if you're just talking, detailed kinesiology, it's not necessarily important. Most people want to know, okay, well, how do I do a fucking hip bridge? Like, I don't care about integrated function. I want to know what makes my back not hurt anymore. I want to know what I need to do. Just tell me, fucking bearded random dude online, tell me what to do to make my glutes really feel it when I do a squat. Just tell me what to do. You can give me some more information, cool, but I want to know what to do. So you can get in the rabbit hole, is my point. You can get really over focused on how you just like, it gets interesting. You're interested in it, and then you start learning more. So you start researching more, and you look up more blogs and more articles and more stuff. But then it just gets to the point where there's endless and endless and endless. And it depends on what level you're at and what you're truly doing training for. Are you an educator? Are you a high level athlete? Have you been training a long time and it's just your passion? Or are you a beginner and you're going way above your pay grade, so to speak? You're going way ahead of yourself. And that's often the case. So I try to bring people back. So you're like, all right, don't get distracted with all that shit. Focus on the fundamentals of these principles and you get the best results. Squeeze the grape. Oh, between your butt cheeks? I always say, imagine you had $1 million check between your butt cheeks and someone's trying to take it. You're like, no, it's my money. No. Bunny rabbit. I can't for the life of me stay up when I practice a third world squat. I hold on to the floor, the door frame, but then my butt hits the ground when I let go. Oh, just elevate your heels on like a towel or something until you get more ankle mobility. Foam rolling's awesome. Basics are the key, Joseph. I agree. What do you suggest if you gain fat very fast but lose it slowly? What do you mean what I suggest? I suggest not gaining fat very fast. I suggest eating better. Everyone, your body doesn't want to get rid of fat. Your body doesn't want to. It does, but it doesn't. That's vague. And how do you know if you're getting fat or you're just bloating? Lose it slowly. It's because you probably eat really unhealthy for a longer period of time, but then you don't really eat clean, so you lose it slowly. There's no magic there, man. Basic hip bridge exercise are great. It's not complicated. It's just you have to just fucking do it. It's so relentless, but if you focus on the hip bridges, that's why I always talk, again, I know, I talk about yoga a lot. Again, that's why yoga is so important, because it does that. in a yoga flow, you're going to be stretching your hip flexors in the front. You're lengthening the rectus femoris. You're lengthening the iliopsoas and the psoas muscles. And then you're activating the glutes. You're doing rotations. You're working the glutes in multiple planes of motion. And it's much easier than me saying, do 3 sets of hip bridges for 10 to 15 repetitions, 10 seconds. So you do hold at the top, do 2 seconds up, hold for 4, down for 6. And I mean, no, fucking just start practicing yoga. It's going to solve a lot of those issues and save us both a lot of time. What type of yoga class? Fuck, it doesn't matter. Just start practicing any kind of yoga and it'll get you on your way. That's why it's so much easier for me to say that, because going through and walking someone through corrective exercises, there's not as quick of a return. Just go to a yoga class and you're going to find so many other benefits attached to that and to practicing yoga. It's going to help you so much more than just correctives. But I mean, it all works. It all works. When I did gymnastics growing up, the coaches would use the $100 bill in between your butt cheeks analogy. $100? I'm not going to squeeze my butt cheeks for another person for 100 bones. Give me something to hold on to, man. Give me something to hold on to. So enjoy your glute activation, enjoy your hip work. Sorry for everyone that watches on Facebook and Instagram. Not my fault, obvi, but we definitely did not have good connection today. Facebook and Instagram is down. So that's the reason why you should be tuning in on YouTube and everywhere else, because if shit goes down, you're able to still catch the Slamcast. So thank you so much for being here for episode 1153 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Make sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel on YouTube, Daily Swole Podcast, and that way you can always catch the live streams there. So 2 channels on YouTube, check out and make sure you subscribe to the Daily Swole Podcast as well. And Silly Gamer, you can check out my blog, Gain Train blog. There's a lot of demos and tutorials. I have all my detailed instructional videos and programs and nutrition inside Swolenormous X. So if you're interested in learning more about Swolenormous X and Daily Swole Club and all that shit, go check out swolenormousx.com, swolenormousx.com for more details. So thank you for joining me for 1153, and I'll see you tomorrow on the 4th of July for 1154. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.